Here we are with another I'm Right and You're Wrong. Today I want to talk about Terminator 2 and probably about 80% of Jim Cameron's films. Uh, Now my problem with Terminator 2 is that it really hasn't aged very well. Um, I It's such a shift in tone from the first Terminator. You watch the first Terminator and it's aged really well. There's a few, very 80s moments in it, but for the most part, it's aged really well. The action's really good. The acting is very solid. Arnie plays a really good bad guy, and I think that's the problem. A lot of the marketing when Terminator 2 was coming out, um, uh, for the most part, you don't know. Like, it started out where you didn't know if Arnie was the good guy or the bad guy was the T-1000. What was he? Um, but then they kind of concentrated on the, a boy and his robot type story, and they tried to cutesify, I guess you could call that, the T-1000 with those silly catchphrases, hasta la vista, um, all that sort of stuff. I told you not to shoot him. Oh, they'll live. Um, and I think people will remember Terminator 2 more for the breakthrough in CGI special effects. Because let's face it, when we all first saw Terminator 2, the effects were just astounding. That a liquid metal guy walked out of a flaming truck, and the flames were reflecting around the body, and it was like, oh my god, how is this possible? He gets shot, and these big splooges of liquid metal come out and then form back in again. And unfortunately, James Cameron forgot what made a Terminator film, and that was a good Terminator. And as good as Robert Patrick was, um, he wasn't Arnold Schwarzenegger. Um, yeah, I just feel as though Terminator 2, the more you watch it, I mean, it's a good action film by itself. If Terminator 2 was the first Terminator, I'd probably be a lot more kind to it, but I think they set the bar so high with the first Terminator that all the bells and whistles in the world couldn't save it from being well, not being, but slowly turning into a more mediocre sequel than what it started out as. I don't think Terminator 2 is aging as well as Terminator. That's basically what I'm saying. I think the problem with a lot of James Cameron's films is he's not a very good writer. Or either that or he's gotten worse as he's had to rely on effects more and more. Not had to rely, but has relied. Like, if you look at Avatar, um, Avatar's a weak film, but visually it's stunning. But because it's so CGI orientated, it's going to date really quickly. As much as you think that, I mean, it's already got a few years on it now, and it's starting to look more cartoony year by year. And as we progress, we're progressing so quickly with how effects look. When you've got CGI effects, they tend to date a lot quicker than say real effects, and I'm sure any makeup guy out there will agree with me that CGI dates very quickly. Well, because the technology is moving so quickly. Um, Avatar, Abyss is good, but it didn't have a great deal of effects. Abyss was actually a really good story. If you look at Aliens, Aliens is very good, but I think that was around about the time when I think that's about the limit. Probably True Lies would maybe sneak in there a little bit. I know that was made after, or around about, was it maybe after or before Terminator 2? Anyway, um, a lot of the FX heavy James Cameron films, I think don't hold up over time. I think we'll be are remembering Alien more than Aliens. I think we'll be remembering Terminator more than Terminator 2. And yes, I know Ridley Scott directed Alien. It's an example of a Jim Cameron film I'm just talking about. Yeah, but I mean, you know I'm right, and if you think Terminator 2 is better than Terminator, then you're sincerely wrong, and I feel very sorry for you. But if you think I'm wrong, please feel free to comment beneath, good or bad, and I can tell you how wrong you are.